Hola, bienvenidos a BlueSeaEsta. Hoy quiero comenzar el video en español porque quiero presentarles el Camino de Santiago versión coreana. Espero que sea un lugar de interés para ustedes y que algún día puedan ir a visitarlo.
Sinan County is located in South Jeolla Province, which is composed by more than 1,000 islands. 중도면, 기점 and 소학도 was designated as the island to visit back in 2018. 대기점도, 소학도, 진섬, 소기점도, and 딴섬 are 5 small islands connected by bridgeways, and it is also called the Pilgrim's Island. There are small chapels named after the 12 apostles, and these chapels were built by 10 Korean and foreign artists. And they are all located at reasonable distances across the 5 islands. The distance is 12 kilometers from the first chapel to the 12th chapel, and it takes around 3 hours on foot. From Mokpo, I took a taxi to Seonggong Passenger Terminal. Once I arrived in the terminal, I bought the ticket to go to the Pilgrim's Island. I took the 9:30 a.m. ferry to 대기점도, which took almost an hour to arrive. To walk the pilgrimage route, usually people get off at 대기점도, since it is the starting point of the first chapel. However, depending on the ferry schedule, some people get off at 소학도 and go up to the pilgrimage route backwards. I recommend you to leave your car at Seonggong Passenger Terminal because the road is very narrow. When I arrived at the marina of 대기점도, a white chapel with blue roof welcomed us. This first chapel is Peter's house. The small white and blue house reminiscent of Santorini, Greece. Peter's house, which is the starting point of the pilgrimage of the 12 apostles, is also named House of Health. After the first chapel, there was a place to rent a bicycle, which was very tempting, but I decided to keep walking. On the way to the second chapel, the house's roofs were all red, making the village more beautiful. The second chapel is called Andrea's house. It is similar in color like Peter's house, with the building being white and the roof being blue. This chapel has 1 cat sculpture standing in front of the building and 2 cats on the roof. The interior of the chapel is very clean and rustic, with simple and unique designs of the sun and moon. Also, with a window that shows the outside landscape, earned the name House of Thinking. While walking along the paddy field, you will find at the entrance to the forest James' house, which is the 3rd chapel. Red roof tiles and wooden pillars stand on both sides, giving stability to the building. This is the House of Longing. John's house has a circular shape, and the long, thin window is open towards the paddy field. At the entrance, there is a tiled sculpture of a goat, and the stained glass on the ceiling changes according to the brightness of the light, which adds extra beauty to the house of life and peace. House is located at the end of 대기점도 and just before 서기점도. This chapel resembles the architecture of southern France, and it was a collaboration work of French and Spanish artists. The graceful curve of the roof and the fish decoration at the top provides uniqueness and elegance to the House of Happiness. On to the next island, in 서기점도, there are 2 chapels to visit. Bartholomew's house is located in the middle of the lake. This chapel looks like a flower floating on the water. The chapel is built in a unique shape bicolor glass and steel, and the reflection in the water makes this house of things a masterpiece. Thomas' house is a square white building. This chapel has a beautiful blue door, and once you open the door, the floor inside the house of bond looks like it has been studded with stars from the sky.